Welcome to this episode of the FYE podcast. I'm joined by our other co-hosts, my other co-hosts. I'm Danielle Duran.
I'm Alan Morales.
And I'm Maria Leander.
And for this episode, we'll be talking about students versus parent expectations. So what does this mean to you guys?
Well, for me, I think it just means like what your parents expect of you and what you expect from yourself. So and it's different for everyone. So
yeah, I think she summarized everything. It's what you and others expect of you. Not only your parents, also your peers.
Mm-hmm.
Some people also expect stuff from you, even though they don't know you.
And for student versus parent expectations, do you experience some conflict between expectations your own for yourself versus your parents' expectation, or do they just coincide hand in hand?
In my experience, they don't go together.
Mm-hmm.
Like in some my parents sometimes have really high expectations for me when I have really low expectations, so they just don't match because I'm trying to go towards mine expectations, but my parents push theirs, so it's not a good thing. They don't mix.
Yeah,
they don't do well.
I know. For me, I'm expected to get good grades, which is I think that's the only one that probably goes hand in hand with my parents. I want to get good grades for myself, and my parents want me to get good grades.
But what is good grades for you? Because good grades for other people can be a C.
Okay, for me, A's. That's
only A's.
Yeah, because since I'm a chemistry major, but I'm pre-med chemistry, so I have to. It's because it's so competitive. You need the highest GPA possible. Because in med school, usually the average GPA is about 3.9, 3.8. So, and I've managed, it's hard to maintain, high grades, but my parents are I guess they got used to it, that I'm able to make good grades since high school. I guess I've been developing study habits, I guess. And so I guess it's just hard for them, you're gonna be fine. They don't really understand the severity of, my situation, I guess, having to be competitive to get into wherever I want to go to.
So I have a question. So, let's say
Mm-hmm.
there's a moment where you're struggling. Do your parents support you, or do they get on you hey, what's going on with your grades, or like moments where you feel like you need their support? Have they ever been no, you need to move it up, or?
They've never really supported me. It sounds bad, but this I'm gonna explain what I mean. It's more it's something they expected, but they never really helped me with. It's kind of just I've always done it by myself. So even if I were to ask them now, hey guys, I need help, they wouldn't really know how to do it, and I don't really ask them for help. I just do it by myself. I'll get it done eventually. And it's kind of the difference between I don't know how to explain it, but it's kind of just how I've become as a person. I guess my independence, and I'm kind of more proactive since I know my parents. Even if I did ask them for help, how would they help me? Academically speaking, I know they could kind of support me, for example, financially, and they help me with other things. Okay, I helped you I made dinner for you, and I'm I appreciate that. But in terms of school, if I'm struggling for school, I don't understand something, I can't really rely on them for that.
Well, another question would be, you're talking about being competitive, but to your knowledge, do you think being competitive is already being pushed towards us since an early age? For example, when you're a kid, normally you just want to make friends, have fun, right? But you're always unconsciously trying to be the best. In your class, you try to get the highest grade or show that you're better at something.
For me, it's not like that. I don't really see it as that type of competition. I see it more as how am I gonna make myself a good applicant for med school? And for me, I don't really like to view others as competition. I've never really been that type of person. But it's more I want to do good for myself. I want to be good. It's not I want to be better than everybody else. It's more I want to be good for myself. Because when you, let's say, for example, if I do get into med school, you're already there. Everybody's already there. If you don't know anything, that's going to be on you. So it's honestly being the best person you could be Because in the end, like when you're in that situation, like med school is like crazy hard. So when you're sitting there in the classroom, yeah, like if you don't know your stuff and you're just focusing on grades and being better than everybody else, like there's gaps and it's just not a good mindset to have.
But well, from my point of view, I see a lot of people having that point of like that perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Because yes, we see med school and other schools that are really high, grades, get that praise for being competitive. But a lot of people don't understand that. Yes, be competitive, but also learn. And I see a lot of people that are super good at the class, and then you ask them something, and they're like, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know how that matches.
Yeah, I think, well, like in terms of my mindset, like it's more like I just want to learn as much as I can and develop my study habits.
I don't have any.
It's okay. We'll get them. We'll get them eventually. It took me a while. And for you, how would you describe like your situation?
Okay, well for me, I'm a middle child.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously, I put expectations on myself that I really shouldn't. So like my older brother, he's like, he never had to study and he would get like A's. So like I would expect like, oh, like maybe I don't need to study. And no, that didn't work. And like I would expect like, my parents would feel like I need to be as good as my brother. And it's not true. Like I learned that my parents, they just want me to go at my pace. They knew I had trouble junior high, sometimes in high school. And like they just wanted me to do like the best that I could. And I did. I mean, I gave it my best. I had to, unfortunately, quit tennis, but that brought my grades to A's and B's. So like they always knew I had the potential and everything. It's just me personally, I would put myself these expectations that I need to be great. I need to like be like at this level when I'm really at this level. And so you just have to figure out and learn where you are and how much you can do, because then like that literally can, well, not literally, but that can cause problems, like maybe health problems, stress. Like,
I think you can say literally, because that does happen.
Yeah, like sometimes I don't know, I would feel really stressed, like, oh, like this class is killing me, like I can't do this. And but my parents are very supportive. They're like, calm down, like relax, it's gonna be okay. It's not like they're super strict. I'm like, no, like,
Yeah, they're actually nice. But you said you had to notice that you don't have to have that high of expectations. Like, what do you have to do to actually notice that?
Again, like you need to realize what is good for you. So like if you see that studying too much, or like taking your time so much on this specific topic, and like you continue to struggle, like just you start to realize, okay, maybe this is not for me, like maybe I should take another road, like that's more suitable for me. So like again, my brother, I never saw him touch a book. Like I swear his backpack was empty. Like I never saw him study.
Did he ever take his backpack off?
I'm pretty sure it was empty. I don't know. But like that was back in high school, I didn't think in college he learned that he had to study, so it's different, And right now I'm taking it easy, and I've been doing great so far. So it's not like with pre-med that it's very competitive. Like I'm a psychology major, but like I'm starting to find my own way.
Even then, I feel like all fields have their level of rigor and competitiveness, because if you want a good job, like you still have to make good grades and like work for it. And I feel like that's like the same. That's the case for like every degree, like every major, because in the end, what are we trying to do? Graduate, get our education, find a nice job. And the thing is, like a lot of people don't understand, like, or I guess maybe our parents don't understand sometimes how it's like so much more competitive nowadays. Not just for like my major, for what I want to do, but for every single major out there. It's so much harder to find like a job. You could have like, you can have a bachelor's degree and still not be able to get like the job you want.
Yeah.
So
I think right now, I think you need at least a master's.
at
Well,
least
The thing is,
Depends, right?
yeah, it depends on what job. Because back then, and I'm not saying I'm that old, but back then you could just graduate high school and get a good job. Now you cannot even get your bachelor's and have a good job. You need at least a 4-year or 6-year or higher degree, because that's how competitive we've been. Like a lot more people are getting degrees, and what is a job gonna look at? Oh, a high school diploma or a 4-year diploma from a college.
I think that's where you find like the difference on what like parents' expectations are for you and like students right now, because back then it was different. I mean, they had these specific expectations that their parents had on them, and then now we have like it's changing. It's 2018.
And especially since we're like in the technology age, you're expected to be very tech savvy. They expect you, and like a lot of jobs expect you to be techie, to know how to do your computer
Everything's
stuff.
on technology
And
now.
but then there's
Everything's
also that expectation of, you guys can't be on your phone all the time 24/7. You guys are addicted to the devices. And it's like, okay, you make up your mind, you want us to help you with your computers and be tech savvy, and then if you're not, it's you guys don't have an excuse. And then now there's that contradiction that I don't know if it's like the older generations, but I know my parents have that. You guys can't even do this. I was like, you guys are always on your phone. I'm like, okay, then what is the truth, Mom? Do you want me to be on my phone 24/7, learn how to be tech savvy, or do you want me to
make up your mind?
And I guess like I guess parents can't, or maybe they should try to see that something it's different nowadays. Things are different.
So I have a question for each of you. What are your expectations at home?
When I go first?
Just to be a good student, good daughter, good.
So like they don't expect you to like help out with like cooking or cleaning or something.
They expect me to be an adult about my own stuff. So do it on your own. You have to do it on your own. Be your own person. Because my mom always says a thing like, when I was your age, I was taking care of my whole city. I'm just kidding. No, but yeah, I totally respect like where she's coming from. Like our parents kind of went through like, you know, like
They had a harder time.
they had like a lot of stress. They had to like build the family up, and I totally get that. But also don't like minimize like what I'm going through, what you guys are going through. Like we're also dealing with our own type of stress, I suppose.
Yeah, because like most of us, we come from a Hispanic family.
Yeah.
So like their expectations were way different. It's like get married, like
Have
kids, take care of the house, and like it's different now.
Yes, and everything changed.
Mm-hmm.
And well, my expectations at home are mainly like everyone get good grades. If I can help out with the house, if I can put some money, sure, why not? It's not a necessity, but like if you want or you can help us out, I'll appreciate it. And like dishes, if I'm using something, I wash it. Like don't just leave it there. Keep my room clean. If I can clean anything else, like use
The mop.
no, a broom and a mop, of course. Like just take care of the house if I can. But mainly, the first thing in my list is good grades. Because to them, is education is the first thing you have to do. If I have to get another job for you to be able to do something, I'll do it. But you need to put your board. That is actually getting good grades. Because then they know that my education is what's gonna get me ahead and out of the place that we're in. They just want the best for me, so they're willing to break their backs in order for me to actually like get something from my life, which puts stress on me.
So overall, I think the best way to like mend, I guess conflict between expectations is understand where they're coming from, and maybe since we're the newer generation, I guess we have to take it upon ourselves to understand where they're coming from and the pressure for us to succeed, because you know how in Hispanic culture, one of us succeeds, we all succeed, and our parents will succeed along with us. So we just need to keep in mind that our parents just want what's best for us.
Yeah, and we need to understand that yes, they might have high expectations and ours might be really low, but we need to find that middle ground, because like you said, their expectations are way higher because they come from a time that was, I think, way harder than ours at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
So we have it easy compared to them. So we need to understand that they have their reasons to be hard on you.
Yeah.
So
Like, yeah.
we understand.
Overall, education is, I think, everybody's parents'
Mm-hmm.
They know.
expectations.
Mhm.
Get a good education. Maybe some other parents didn't have an education and want them
Mm-hmm.
to continue.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in conclusion, we just need to keep in mind expectations differ, happens with everything, not just our parents, but we also keep in mind that there's ways to overcome that, and just know that for yourself, know your own limitations, and I guess just know that they just want what's best for you, and I think that's like the best way
Yeah.
to overcome the issues that we face, having differences in expectations.
Self-care.
Self-care, that's always one. Well,
Communication.
Yeah. So this basically, I guess, concludes this episode of the FYE podcast. Thank you, everybody, for listening.